The U.S. Supreme Court is hearing arguments over access to an abortion pill. Tonight, we asked a Seattle U law professor how the case could impact people here in Washington. King 5's Cornelius Hocker joins us now with a few answers tonight. Cornelius?
Greg, that professor told me this case shows how unsettled the law is around abortion, and this more than likely won't be the last time the High Court weighs in.
People protested outside the Supreme Court as the justices prepared to hear arguments in a case that could significantly restrict access to mifepristone. It's one of the most closely watched cases of this session.
I listened to the whole thing. I set my alarm so I would be up and ready.
Seattle U law professor Dr. Bowen lays out what it would mean if the court decides to roll back FDA approval on the drug.
Medical abortions would no longer be available through the mail or be able to be prescribed by doctors through telehealth.
That kind of access to abortion would also be limited in Washington, even though it would still be legal to get the pill or procedure in person. People in states where abortion is already illegal, like Idaho, would face even more hurdles to get the pill.
If the doctors think that they're prescribing to someone in Washington state and it turns out the person is actually in Idaho, they are now exposed to criminal liability.
A little deja vu-y, I'd say.
Sarah Dixit with ProChoice Washington says headlines suggesting SCOTUS seems skeptical of the challenge doesn't reassure her or many in favor of abortion rights. So they'll continue their work.
Having justices decide the scientific basis of how medication is approved seems out of the purview of the court, but we've been surprised before by some of the rulings.
Dr. Bowen says for now, people have a workaround, the pill, in states that have banned abortion. But for how long is the question.
This may not be the case that's going to get this banned, but there's a federal law that someone else can bring, a new administration, for example, and have it enforced and have it applied.
That federal law mentioned by Justices Alito and Thomas in today's oral arguments is the Comstock Act. It's a 151-year-old law that anti-abortion activists believe could block the mailing of all abortion-related drugs and materials, which would effectively ban abortions across the country.